On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump took the oath of office as President of the United States for the second time. His inauguration speech marked the beginning of what he called a golden age of America. Today, we'll break down this historic speech, its key themes, and its potential implications for the nation and the world. It was a moment that promised change, and as Trump spoke to the millions watching at home and in the crowd, he painted a picture of hope, power, and a return to what he called the American way. From his first words to his final salute, Trump's speech was designed to resonate deeply with his supporters while leaving an indelible mark on his critics. Donald Trump's inauguration ceremony was a grand affair held at the U.S. Capitol. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as he prepared to deliver a speech that would outline his vision for the next 4 years. As the camera panned across the crowd, there were people of all ages, veterans waving American flags, young supporters in MAGA hats, and families gathered together, united in their hope for the future. The steps of the Capitol gleamed in the winter sun, and the air was filled with both excitement and tension. Attendees included former presidents, members of Congress, and dignitaries from around the world. The crowd's reaction was electric as Trump took the stage, a testament to the enduring divisiveness and enthusiasm surrounding his presidency. Even among the dignitaries, there was a sense of curiosity and perhaps apprehension. Would this term be a continuation of his past policies, or would it bring something entirely new? The world was watching, and the stakes had never been higher. In his 2025 inauguration speech, Trump emphasized 4 key themes: American sovereignty, energy independence, law and order, and economic revival. Let's dive into each of these themes and why they matter. Trump declared a renewed focus on American sovereignty, vowing to protect the country's borders and prioritize its interests above all else. He announced a national emergency at the southern border to halt illegal immigration and designated cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. This was more than just a policy announcement. It was a rallying cry. Trump's words, "We will reclaim our borders and protect our citizens," were met with thunderous applause from his supporters. For many, this was a reaffirmation of his promise to put America first. For others, it raised concerns about the balance between security and human rights.
We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release, and I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
The president also announced a national energy emergency, promising to expand domestic drilling and achieve full energy independence. His bold statement, "We will drill, we will produce, and we will prosper," drew both applause and controversy.
That is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
Trump's call for energy independence wasn't just about economics, it was about national pride. By emphasizing domestic production, he positioned the U.S. as a leader in energy, aiming to reduce reliance on foreign oil. But the environmental concerns quickly sparked a backlash, with climate activists warning of long-term consequences. Trump's commitment to law and order took center stage as he vowed to restore safety in American cities. He pledged stronger support for police forces and stricter measures against crime. He spoke directly to those who feel left behind by rising crime rates, saying, "We will bring safety back to every street and every neighborhood." For supporters, this was a long overdue promise. For critics, it raised fears of over-policing and potential civil rights violations. Finally, Trump promised an economic revival, highlighting plans to reduce taxes, cut regulations, and bring manufacturing jobs back to America. He framed this as a golden age of economic prosperity. This segment of the speech struck a chord with small business owners and workers who have seen industries struggle in recent years. "We will rebuild our factories, strengthen our supply chains, and create jobs," he declared. While many were inspired, Economists have questioned how these goals can be achieved in an increasingly globalized economy.
We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago.
While many of Trump's proposals were met with applause, some sparked controversy. One of the most debated moments came when he announced plans to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. This announcement was a classic example of Trump's ability to spark both enthusiasm and criticism. Supporters saw it as a symbolic reassertion of national pride, while opponents dismissed it as unnecessary and potentially offensive. Reactions to Trump's speech were as polarized as ever. Supporters hailed it as a bold and visionary address, while critics questioned the feasibility and implications of his proposals.
Donald Trump, in his speech today, made it personal to Joe Biden. We played a couple of those sound bites, but talked about liberation as Joe Biden sat there.
That was a brutal speech.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ever happened before. I think it's a unique moment in American history.
I am thinking the worst and hoping for the best. I have lived through 4 years of normalcy where I didn't have to predict what is going to happen next. And
my take on it was that it had more of a vibe of a State of the Union address than an inaugural address.
Social media exploded with reactions within minutes of the speech. Hashtags like Golden Age or Divided America trended globally, reflecting the stark divide in public opinion. International leaders, too, weighed in with mixed responses from allies and adversaries alike. The road ahead will test the administration's ability to turn promises into policies. Will these initiatives redefine America's position on the world stage, or will they deepen existing divisions? Only time will tell. Donald Trump's 2025 inauguration speech has set the tone for his second term.
We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Love him or hate him, his presidency promises to be anything but ordinary.
We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
We'll be here to track these developments and bring you the latest insights.